So the light from the sun is not parallel.
Correct.
Excellent. I will take that as the win I need. Considering the heliocentric model describes the light from the sun as being parallel, but when it comes to umbra and penumbra, it needs to converge. But yet when we see a picture of the sun in reality, it's divergent. So we've got a massive problem. The same problem that Rumpus entered this little arena to tell us that it was all nonsense. No problem, nothing to be seen here. Right, Rumpus? And yet we've got a big problem, because the light you told us to consider parallel is now being made clear by you as not being parallel, yet the picture that we've got of the actual sun, they're divergent. So this is a massive problem for a heliocentric model with a 93 million mile sun, with a claimed parallel light coming from it, because it needs to converge to create the shadow you claim in your presuppositional orbital path with your umbra and penumbra. But that doesn't match what we see in reality, and you need to talk down reality so you can deny a picture of the sun for 10 straight minutes.
You could put a flat earth here and you would still be having these issues you're not understanding about these rays. So any flaw you're coming up with here with this model would affect the flat earth just as much.
We don't have a model of this. We don't make any claims about this.
Yeah, well, that's because you don't,
Sorry, you stuttering, mumbling quit. We don't make any claims for you to hold up a straw man against this. This is only your problem. So you're admitting it's a problem, but saying it would also be a problem for us if we had a model. We don't. So it's just your problem. Image that's being sent to the one with
there it is. That's his diagram, Rumpus.
Convergent rays, right?
Okay, I can see that. Okay.
You got four examples.
You could just pick a couple of rays and say they're convergent, but the rays from the sun go out in all directions.
So we could pick a couple of rays and call them convergent. Aren't we to consider them parallel, as you told us earlier then?
The rays from the sun from any particular point go out in all directions and are divergent.
Yeah, you start with that every time. But we've got a contradiction on our hands. If they're to be considered parallel, then they can't be considered convergent.
Light that reaches us. Right, the light that reaches us. For instance, let's look at the light that reaches the Earth comes in from all sorts of angles.
Yeah, you lead with that for the 5th time. Yeah, we've got a contradiction. You're saying consider them all parallel. Yeah, they come in from all directions. That's fascinating. But we're being told by you to consider them parallel. But in the depiction of penumbra and umbra, they're convergent, and now you've told us the opposite, which is to consider them as converging. So you've got two positions. It seems you're in cognitive dissonance, Rumpus.
Depending on which light rays you pick,
Oh, I see. So it depends on the circumstances which light rays we pick. So we're not to consider them all parallel. It depends.
You can pick on any light ray you want from the sun, and then you can decide what angle they're. But the maximum divergence...
So it doesn't matter what it's actually doing. We just decide based on the example. So it's down to your decision on what that light ray will do.
0.5.
It's down to your decision, is it?
Degrees.
This is down to your decision. The will of you decides the light ray and what it does, correct? Your will.
No, it's not down to...
You just told me you decided. Just told me you decide.
No, it's reality's decision.
You just made the decision for reality. So you decide. You told us you decide.
Right.
Yeah, right. Well, no. You've got a contradiction when you decide, because you're telling us to consider them all parallel, but also consider them diverging and converging. Converging in your diagram and diverging in reality.
This has got nothing to do with the shape of the Earth. You could put a flat Earth here and you would still be having these issues you're not understanding about these rays. So any flaw you're coming up with here with this model would affect the flat Earth just as much.
We don't have a model of this. We don't make any claims about this, you dumb fuck.
Yeah, well, that's because you don't,
Sorry, you stuttering, mumbling fuckwit. We don't make any claims for you to hold up a straw man against this. This is only your problem. So you're admitting it's a problem, but saying it would also be a problem for us if we had a model. We don't. So it's just your problem.
If you believe this to be...
Your problem, because we don't hold up a straw man model. This is definitely a problem, but it's only your problem with the heliocentric model.
Believe this issue was a problem.
Did we all catch that? Rumpus admitted it was a problem, but said it would equally be a problem for us.
I caught it.
I said the statement.
I don't have a problem
if
with
you
it
did-
in my model
if
because I
there
don't
was a
presuppose
problem-
they're actually.
If there was a problem, there's definitely a problem. There's 4 examples on screen, and they can't all be true at the same time. We can't consider it all being parallel and it creating umbra and penumbra. Those two things can't be held simultaneously. And you're saying I will decide and be the arbiter of what they'll be doing when I make my example. I point out that you're deciding and you obfuscated and said nature decides. Well, nature can't simultaneously make it convergent and parallel. That's a contradiction that you haven't addressed. Now, when we pointed it out, you've said, well, if this is a problem now, yeah, it's definitely a problem because it's a contradiction, then it's also a problem in your model as well. No, it's just your problem in your model.
As well. So there's no problem, but any problem you
No problem. We've got 2 different examples. One with parallel that doesn't create penumbra and umbra. Can you not even acknowledge that you've got a problem, you fucking coward?
There is no problem here, you...
Oh, you can't acknowledge that you've got a problem. It's on screen. Any audience member that pays the slightest bit of attention to Rumpus, know this. He's a liar. He's got this example. He's looking at it. You can't have umbra and penumbra if you've got parallel light rays. That is not possible. And he's saying it's not a problem. You're in denial, you fundy fuckwit.
Arrives at the Earth. The fact that I'm having to explain this to you, and QE as well, means you have the less understanding of geometry than a 7-year-old.
You couldn't educate or explain hearing to the bionic woman.
You're just a moron beyond...
Just stutter and ad hom through him, right, don't you? Yeah, this is very much a contradiction. It's on screen for my audience. Now, my audience, if they can fog a mirror, shout out to Quantum Eraser, can recognise that you can't have umbra and penumbra with parallel lines.
Different rays. If you pick different rays, you can get different...
Pick different rays? So you're the arbiter of whether or not they're parallel or convergent?
Anybody can pick these realities.
Oh, I see. So it's down to you to pick which one will be applied. I thought nature decided.
Let's say the third
I thought nature decided.
of 10th man.
Does nature not decide anymore?
Diagram.
Does nature not decide? Maybe talk through me constantly.
Of 10th man.
You fucking coward. Yeah, audience, you know what's happening here. The Flat Earther's won again against Rumpus. And all he can do is ignore everything that's put to him. What a coward. Yeah, he knows he's absolutely been cooked.
But he picked in the first diagram.
Yeah, you're going to pick. A minute ago, nature decided, though, didn't it?
Not me.
You're not going to listen? A moment ago, nature decided, and now you're saying anybody can pick.
He did the picking, not me in this diagram.
No, there's no picking. There's just 2 different...
on which argument you're having.
Yeah, it depends which argument, yeah. If you're going to argue that you're going to be doing parallel required lines, then...
Depending on which rays you pick.
Yeah, so it's not nature that picks them then, as you declared earlier then.
The third diagram in this set, he's picked rays that converge. In the second one, he's picked some that slightly converge. In the third one, he's picked some parallel rays. And in the fourth one, he's picked divergent.
At the current time,
but
you just
anybody
pick
can
which
pick
one?
anyone.
Whether it's
They
convergent,
all
divergent,
exist
parallel?
simultaneously.
I see. So both parallel and convergent at the same time. That's a contradiction in terms.
No, the individual rays...
Sorry, I'll say it again, just in case the audience missed it, and I'll make it absolutely explicitly clear, because Rumpus is thick and in cognitive dissonance and holding 2 positions simultaneously. You cannot both be parallel and convergent at the same time. That is a contradiction in terms. A married bachelor, you are stupid. You are ignorant. You are thick.
Different rays, you moron.
What depends on which one I pick. So if I'm going to decide we're having umbra and penumbra as a result of the heliocentric model this week, then I'll describe them as being convergent. Whereas if I'm deciding that I'm going to describe how Eratosthenes does his quasi-experiment, they're going to be parallel. It's up to me to decide, is it?
Part of the diagram has picked non-parallel lines.
You don't pick what light does. It's not up to you. You can pick what it does in your model, depending on the circumstances that befall you. But in reality, light just does what light does. It's not up to you to decide whether or not it's converging, parallel, or in reality, yeah, diverging. That's what we actually have. None of your examples in the heliocentric model work. You don't have converging light ever. Look at it. It's diverging.
Ones in the diagram have been picked.
The diagram's not this picture on screen. And this picture on screen of what a sun actually does in reality pisses in the face of your claim.
Rays. Do you understand that, 10th man?
Do you understand that sun, when you actually look at it, has got divergent rays?
You can pick any ray.
Do you understand that the sun has got divergent rays when you look at it?
Well, all the light from all...
How my balls taste, you fuckwit globe-believing fundy. Yet your explanation that requires them to converge and requires them to be parallel ignores reality.
Sun...
Hello? Do you not understand that if you look at the sun, they're divergent?
emit light in all directions.
Yeah, so not parallel, not convergent, divergent then.
All directions.
Divergent.
This diagram, you can pick divergent...
Not diagram, I've got a picture of the real sun on screen. And they're not converging, they're not parallel, they're diverging.
Points you pick.
You're a reality denier. You're a reality denier. Are you a reality denier?
You pick.
I pick? No, it's on screen. Hey, audience, you can pick whether or not these lines are parallel or convergent. You can pick, because Rumpus said so.
Are you showing the map? Are you showing 10th rank?
I'm showing reality. This is a real sun, a picture of it. And they're diverging.
Are you showing 10th...
Are you a reality denier? These aren't parallel, and they're certainly not converging. They're diverging. Are you a reality denier?
Are you showing 10th...
Are you a reality denier? I'm showing the sun.
Are you showing the 10th...
The sun. Reality.
Isn't it?
Reality.
Are you showing that...
The sun, reality. Divergent lines. Yeah? You need them to converge or be parallel.
Show some consideration to the viewers and me.
Suck my balls. Reality says you're wrong. Are you a reality denier? The light from the sun in reality is not converging or parallel.
To the admin here so I can talk about this. Do you
Talk about what? I've got a picture of reality on screen. It doesn't do what you say.
diagram? Right, so are you showing 10th man diagram?
I'm showing the sun, a real picture of the real world. And they're not parallel, they're not convergent.
10th man diagram up,
Oh, we want diagrams. You scared of reality?
Let's put up 10th...
Scared of reality?
show you how...
You scared of reality? You need your diagrams? I've got a real picture of a real sun. You scared of reality?
The light rays coming off in all directions, does it?
They're convergent, are they?
So we need 10th man's...
Sorry, are they convergent? There's real sun rays. I've got a picture of reality. Rumpus is scared to answer a question about the real sun.
Can we all discuss the same thing, please?
Yeah, we're real sun. We're talking about the sun and what it does. I've got a real picture of a real sun.
10th man diagram.
No, not diagram. Real picture of a real sun.
Yeah, but this will...
Why is that making you stutter? You scared of reality? You scared of reality? Scared to look at the real sun because it hasn't got convergent lines?
Nathan,
Rumpus?
10th man's
Convergent,
diagram.
right?
This is 10th man's diagram.
No, it's a picture of a real sun. And we don't have convergent rays from it.
What else? I've dealt with this
Seem to be scared of reality.
I'd want to talk to 10th man. At least he seems to be...
You're scared of me then? You're scared of me talking about reality?
10th man.
No, Nathan, he's put a real picture of a sun on. Quick, get the diagram, get 10th man, get anything but the convergent lines that this sun's showing us.
Do you want to talk about this diagram, 10th?
No, I want to talk about the fact that the sun hasn't got convergent light coming from it in this picture.
It's got light going in all directions.
And are they converging to cause penumbra and umbra?
There are light rays coming from...
Are they converging in reality?
No.
So we can't have your example of penumbra and umbra with convergent light then? No matter how much you tell the audience, they can just consider them to be convergent because this picture of reality pisses in the face of that now, doesn't it? No, Rumpus, they're not convergent.
You're impervious to logic.
No, you've told me no, not converging.
Come on, let's discuss your diagram.
Let's discuss reality. We haven't got convergent lines to create penumbra and umbra in reality.
Let's discuss, come on.
Reality, yeah, the picture I've just absolutely teabagged you with. And it's just a picture of a sun.
Seems incapable of understanding some simple...
Understanding that we haven't got convergent lines and you've said no when I asked you if they were converging. No, was the response. I heard it loud and clear. So your example for penumbra and umbra, which requires convergent light rays, is not what we see.
Oh, they are exactly what we see.
No, you think the picture on screen's got convergent sun rays? He's a reality denier, ladies and gentlemen. I put a picture of a sun and he tells me that he can see convergent lines. Are you blind? Are you thick? Are you stupid? Or are you just a ball-believing zealot?
10th man's diagram, Matt.
Not 10th man's diagram. It's a picture of the sun.
tenth man's diagram, which
No, a picture of reality.
You're not actually in just the usual. Your idea.
10th man's not coming to save you. Reality's defeating
He's been
you.
looking to diagrams for too long. He can't handle the real sun anymore.
you
can't handle the real picture of a sun because it hasn't got convergent light rays. Certainly hasn't got parallel light rays.
And you need to explain the light rays.
Light rays that are converging in this picture of reality, right?
Good, and the ones that reach the surface of the Earth, if you're talking about a solar eclipse, there are some light rays that come from the edge of the sun, which perform the penumbra, and there are some that are obscured, which cannot be met, come to the surface of the Earth. That's in the umbra, and that
would be a convergent light. That would be them converging.
It depends. It depends which 2 points.
No, the description's got them absolutely in your description. I'll put it on screen for the audience. Rumpus has decided that in this scenario, it's scenario number 2. And they're going to be creating penumbra and umbra because they are converging, correct?
Which
Yeah, I'll just tell you because you're thick and can't keep up. Yeah, the description you've just given would have convergent light rays. That is precisely what you just described. Selection number 2, Rumpus. That's what you've just described. However, in reality, light from the sun does not converge. We got a very clear no from you with a picture of the real sun on screen.
Right. So I'm looking at the
Right, so your description of convergent light with penumbra and umbra isn't what we see in reality.
Which diagram are you looking at, Nathan? Which one?
A real picture of the sun pisses in the face of your selecting arbitrarily that this is how you're going to describe how light works. Because in reality, when we actually look at the sun, light doesn't work that way.
It totally agrees with that.
Oh, does it now? So my picture of the sun has got light converging, has it?
That's why we can predict the size of the shadow.
Sorry, my picture of the sun in reality has got light converging, has it? No, it hasn't, mate.
There are light sources from the sun that are coming together.
No, there's not. Are you a reality denier?
No, I'm not. You're the one.
You stuttering fundy fuck. No, mate, I've got a picture of the sun on screen, and it absolutely doesn't have any light rays coming together. You're a reality denier.
It does. How do you think
it does?
It to the sunlight?
It does.
Listen to this, Nathan. Try listening for once. Imagine the light rays from the edge of the sun.
I've got them on screen. None of them are coming together.
They are.
No, they're not. You're a reality denier. It's on screen for the audience. If you're a globe-believing fundy, you agree with Rumpus, and are going to tell yourself that this picture on screen has got light coming together. No, reality denier, it hasn't.
I know you want to suppress the argument, and I'm...
Suppress the argument that the light rays on the picture on screen are coming together? No, they're not.
I know you want to suppress...
It's visually obvious that they're not coming together, Rumpus.
I know you want to...
It's not suppressing the argument. Your argument is that the light rays are coming together, and they are not. That is visually obvious for everyone looking at my screen right now.
Censor me, Nathan. I know you want to...
Censor you? No, you've told me that the picture of a sun in reality is light rays coming together. And for my audience, it's visually obvious that's not the case. You're a reality denier.
Nathan, I know even you'll be able to understand this explanation. So say a light ray from the left-hand side of the sun and a light ray from the right-hand side of the sun. The mere fact that those two light rays end up at your eyes means they are converging.
They're not. I've just put a pointer on one on the left and one on the right, and they're not converging. You're a reality denier.
Moron. They are.
Sorry, moron. If you agree with if you are a member of the audience and you agree with Rumpus, then feel free to type into my comment section that you agree and that what I am seeing on screen, as described by Rumpus, has the light on the left converging with the light on the right, because it isn't.
That's incredible. It is. It has to be to get to your...
It is. No, it's visually obvious for anybody who's not blind that is visually obviously not the case.
I suspect that most of the other people on the panel understand what I've said, and they'll be
Sorry, you've said that the light coming from the left, a ray from the left, is converging with one from the right when it's clearly diverging. That's visually obvious for anybody who's not blind or being lied to by you.
They're beginning to laugh at you. I think even...
Laugh at me? What, as they look at a picture of divergent light rays and are being told by a fundy with a ball belief that they're converging?
Even QE...
QA? Yeah, that's because you're trying to lie and getting confused and mixing up letters because you're very confused with your lie. No, for anybody who's not blind, the light from this sun is not converging, and he needs it to converge to give him his description of penumbra and umbra, and it simply isn't the case in reality. And when faced with reality, he will literally tell you that what you see isn't what you see.
Thinking, Nathan, I can understand this. Why can't you?
Understand that they're converging when they're clearly diverging.
You're being rather silly.
Silly when saying to my audience that clearly this picture has divergent sun rays, but Rumpus is telling you that I'm silly for saying that. No, they're clearly diverging.
The mere fact that you can see both edges of the sun means that
diverging light rays coming out of it. Yeah, what about those diverging light rays coming out of the sun?
They're all going out from all angles.
Which ones? The ones that are diverging?
The fact that you can see the two edges means
I can see them diverging. Now tell me that they're converging.
And they are converging to
No, they're not. They're clearly diverging.
No, they're coming together to get you.
No, they're not. They're moving apart. That's clearly obvious to anybody who's not blind.
Nathan, draw a straight line from your eyes.
Okay, I'll do it. I'll draw a straight line from here to here, and it's diverging. They're meeting at the sun. They're moving apart from the sun. Yeah, they're diverging. They're coming away from each other. So they're meeting at the sun.
I don't know what you're drawing.
It's not drawing, it's reality. You're just a reality denier because your description of penumbra and umbra has got the rays from the sun converging to create penumbra and umbra. But yet when we look at reality, the sun, a picture of the sun, that's not what the light rays do.
There could be thinking your little 7-year-old could understand this, and the fact you can't, I'm afraid, just puts you in the...
There's nothing to understand. It's visually obvious.
Your IQ's about 100, probably.
Sorry, there's nothing to understand. It's visually obvious. Nothing to comprehend. It's a picture of the sun with its light doing what it does. There's nothing to comprehend. It's visually obvious.
Did you understand what I was saying? Did you understand, 10th Man? Did you understand what I was saying?
Sorry, you're going to appeal to 10th Man to save you from me again?
Well, apparently you're
scared of me, Rumpus. I know. The audience has also picked up on it. That it's no longer the case that I'm slightly intimidated by you and your constant filibustering. No, it's now the case that you're scared of me and need to appeal to 10th Man to save you from reality. That would be a picture of the sun with its divergent rays.
So, for instance, I'm sure Righteous is intelligent enough to understand.
You're going to appeal to Righteous to save you from me now? Wow, how pathetic. The tables really have turned, haven't they?
Just said. Who else would that? George.
Man, you must be like a 7-year-old to have to try and appeal to other panel members to try and save you from me. You're like a 7-year-old, a scared toddler.
Into the people on this panel.
You scared toddler. Maybe address reality and the fact that the sun doesn't have convergent light coming from it. That's visually obvious to anybody not blind or being lied to by you.
So that's what we'll go with. I think we'll go with 90% of the panel understand what I'm saying, and the 10, and you and the other percent don't.
What you're saying, Rumpus, is that the sextant could only work on a flat plane. That's what you're saying. Thank you very much.
Not at all. Not at all. No.
Yes. Your identification of lights.
So, 10th Man, did you understand what I said about how? Did you understand what I said about the fact that you can see two edges of the sun means that those light rays cannot be parallel and coming together at your eyes, therefore they're converging? Did you understand that?
Right, they can't be parallel. So they can't be parallel.
Nathan.
They can't be parallel.
Stop interrupting his...
No, sorry, I'm just clarifying, not interrupting. Can't be parallel, correct?
10th Man, did you understand?
Sorry, earlier in the show you told us they were to be considered parallel, and now you explicitly stated that they can't be parallel.
Let 10th Man speak.
You can suck on my balls. I'll trim it out and repeat it 1,000 times for you, so you can suffer my nuts on your face. Because you've been shot in the face, metaphorically, in a video game. That's all this is, because you're a nameless troll. You've been shot in the face, now you're lying, dying, with me teabagging you. They are not parallel, according to you.
You're scared of your own panel.
You just told me they are not parallel.
Because they're going to demonstrate that you don't understand and they do.
I understand what you've just told me. Not parallel.
You're not going to let him answer.
I heard what you stated. No. You said that the lights are not parallel. Not parallel, right?
Are you going to let him answer?
Not parallel, right? You need 10th Man to save you, right? Yeah? Coward? Yeah, I'd be scared of me too. Because I'm absolutely ferocious. And I've just repeated what you've said. That's all I've done. So the light from the sun is not parallel.
So 10th Man...
10th Man, save me from Nathan! Yeah, not parallel, right? That's what you said. I'm just repeating back, and now you're scared of your own words.
Speak. Let 10th man speak.
No, I'm speaking. So not parallel. All I'm doing is repeating your own words back, and you seem to be scared of your own words.
You're scared.
You're stuttering like a bitch that's being teabagged by a flat earther. Know it. So not parallel.
Right, Nathan. Be quiet, Nathan. Let 10th.
Oh, you tell me to be quiet. You are only having your own words repeated back to you, and you need me to be quiet.
10th man speak, Nathan. Let 10th.
He's not going to save you.
So 10th man.
So not parallel.
10th man.
So not parallel. So not parallel. You've just stated they're not parallel. Earlier in the show, you said they were to be considered parallel, and now you've explicitly said that they are not parallel.
But in actual fact,
that seems to make you stutter, doesn't it? Yes, stutter for me. The tables really have turned, Rumpus. I am absolutely in control of this scenario now. You are not, because you're a double-speaking, contradiction-laden Fundy. That's all you are. You've got a contradiction. You said the light was to be considered parallel at the start of this discourse. And at the end, you're telling us it is not parallel.
Speak. Are you going to let 10th man speak?
I'm talking to you. The one with the contradiction. Light rays from the sun to be considered parallel. And simultaneously, you've just told us moments earlier, and are scared to hear it repeated back, that they are not parallel.
Absolutely fine. Absolutely fine. They're not parallel.
So the light from the sun is not parallel.
Correct.
Excellent. I will take that as the win I need. Considering the heliocentric model describes the light from the sun as being parallel, but when it comes to umbra and penumbra, it needs to converge. But yet when we see a picture of the sun in reality, it's divergent. So we've got a massive problem. The same problem that Rumpus entered this little arena to tell us that it was all nonsense. No problem, nothing to be seen here. Right, Rumpus? And yet we've got a big problem, because the light you told us to consider parallel is now being made clear by you as not being parallel, yet the picture that we've got of the actual sun, they're divergent. So this is a massive problem for a heliocentric model with a 93 million mile sun, with a claimed parallel light coming from it, because it needs to converge to create the shadow you claim in your presuppositional orbital path with your umbra and penumbra. But that doesn't match what we see in reality, and you need to talk down reality so you can deny a picture of the sun for 10 straight minutes. But when we get down to the nitty-gritty, Rumpus has made it clear for all you fundies, the light from the sun is not parallel. Yeah, I could have shown you that with this picture. It definitely isn't converging, though, to create umbra and penumbra. So with that, I'll say a huge, massive, enormous thank you to both Discord and G Plus panels for making today's after show possible.